Εξομολογήστε το Κύριο διαγραφός, αλληλούια, ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
In the Gospels, right? And any questions you've got my email address, you've got my Skype. Just get in touch with me. Let's talk together on Zoom or on Skype. And I'm happy to try and answer any of your questions as you explore what he teaches.
Because we had a chat, didn't we, in Sheffield the other day. The guy was from the church.
Yeah.
And this other chap was saying, "Oh no, you're not a proper Christian." And I'm like, "What is the difference? What are you arguing over?"
Yeah.
One of them was a sectarian or something, and he's a church. He's like a church guy. He says, "I've studied this. I'm from the church." So I'm like, I'm confused.
Yeah. The thing is, bro,
It makes a lot of confusion.
With sectarianism always stirs up strife. So avoid people who have that sectarian spirit, right? But what I'm inviting, because I know you guys aren't Christians, but you're interested. That's what you said earlier, right? I did understand that correctly.
Yeah, I saw that for a long
You're
time.
investigating.
I was always very much. I always said to somebody, if the people of the Watchtower would stop me and said, "Do you believe in this?" I go, "Over there, there's a man wearing a pink suit. Do you believe me or not?" And they couldn't prove it. I said, "Well, I can't prove it. You can't prove it, so it's not real."
Yeah.
But I've watched your stuff. And I think you're a great speaker. I've put on stuff before, you should be the Prime Minister.
I'll look out for that. I'll look out for that for the next time.
And I've always said to you, Anna, I said, this guy, watch him, but he's a great speaker. I love the way he speaks. He's very strong, very,
Yeah.
He represents it very well. Like you say, not getting involved.
Well,
I sit and I think to myself, God, I want to say this, that, and the other. And today, because you're speaking, I'm like, I don't know. I can't think of anything what I want to say.
Well, the thing is, I want to invite you to understand that by becoming a disciple, what I'm inviting you to be, if you want to understand Christianity in a single sentence, it's about being a student of Jesus Christ. That's Christianity in one sentence, being a student of Jesus Christ. And that's what I'm inviting you to explore, is to have a look at who Jesus Christ is and to ask yourself, who is Jesus Christ to me? And if you come to the conclusion that Jesus Christ is a great teacher, well, why not become his pupil and take seriously what he says about himself, what he says about the world, and what he says about you? Because the thing is what I'm calling you to, bro, and you two, sister, is not to some wishy-washy BBC songs of praise kind of Christianity.
No, I don't do BBC.
Yeah. Good. What I'm inviting you to is the kind of Christianity that transforms worlds, that changes civilizations, that thrusts back jihadi armies, that takes away Sharia law, that changes people's hearts and minds, their cultures, their architecture, their art, their literature.
That's the thing there, because if in Sheffield, as you've seen yourself, even driving past here, there's all Arabic writing. It's all. I said to you, it's gone all a bit Islamic.
Well, the thing is, Islam leads to Arabization. But chances are most of those signs might be in Urdu, actually. But they use an Arabic script, but then they write in Urdu. Well, but this is the point. The reason why they are able to push it on is because English folk like you have forgotten your own heritage as Christians. You forgot your own culture as Christians. You forgot your own identity as Christians. And that's deliberate. The state deliberately has not educated you about your own heritage, has deliberately not educated you about your own culture, because it doesn't want you to have one. It only wants you to think of yourselves as a citizen with a contract with the state. It doesn't want you to think of yourselves as a people with an identity, with a heritage, with a culture, with a value system, with a belief system, and that's the faith that I'm inviting you to, one that embraces Christianity in all of its aspects.
Yeah, I took a look. I showed you the Nigerians, the Christians, and I were on X, where people putting stuff up about the Palestinians.
Yeah.
And from you, because
Yeah.
you were speaking about it, I didn't have a clue. I was like, whatever. And I was like, what about the Palestinian Christians?
Yeah.
I was sticking the stuff up about the Nigerians.
Yes. Well done.
Nobody could.
Well done.
Nobody could answer me.
Brilliant.
I was putting it out there.
And this is the point. This is the point. Is the liberals have got their agenda. The Muslims have got their agenda. Christians, we've got our agenda. You guys have got to choose a side. Are you on the side of the liberals who want to destroy your culture and your heritage? Do you want to side with the Muslims and the push Islamification? Or do you want to side with the Christians, which is to? I'm sorry. Sorry. 1 second. I'm in a conversation. I'll talk to you in a second. Or do you want to side with the Christians and our agenda as Christians? The church has its own agenda.
It does, because the thing is what you'll notice. What did I say to that woman in that church at Eden? I told her about the trans community, and she was like, she looked at me funny. She was like, I know, but we've got to invite everyone. I said, yeah, but you're going against your own teachings.
Yes.
You're going against. You're confused in your teaching.
Yeah.
You're very. And she's like, oh well. She didn't want to upset anybody, and I said, yeah, but you've got to stand by what you believe.
Yeah.
And you don't. You just don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah. So the point, and this is the point. What she's doing there is she's misapplying the what's called the Catholicity of the church, the Catholic nature of the church. It's a universal church. It's for everyone. But lots of liberals misapply that by thinking that you can join the church on your terms. You can come into church on your terms. That's not what the Catholic nature of the church is about. Everyone can join the church, but you join the church on Christ's terms, not your terms. And that's the problem that liberal Christians like that one in Eden that you encountered, that's the mistake that she made. She thought that what the Catholic means is you get to come to church and do what you want. That's not the way of the Christian. The way of the Christian is you join the people of God, which is the church, and you join on Christ's terms, and you commit yourself to Christ's agenda.
We had it at work with Jade, if you remember, which was shoving a LGBT stuff onto us.
Yeah.
And saying this is what we need to do and putting all the political flags in. Well, I went against it, didn't I?
Good for you.
Because why wouldn't it?
Well, exactly.
Free speaking person can do what I mean. Freedom of speech. Yeah, it's not to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anybody to get upset.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
I've got something I need to say,
Yeah.
I will say it. And if they're upset, that's their problem.
But you've got to understand, the liberals aren't interested in winning
No, they're
debates.
not. She doesn't understand what that is.
They're not interested. The liberals aren't interested in winning debates. The liberals are interested in taking over HR. The liberals are interested in taking over the council, taking over the courts, taking over the parliament. Because once they've captured all of those places, it doesn't matter how clever your argument is. They just throw you in prison.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They just get you sacked from your work. So we got to smarten up. We got to recognise that's how the liberals work, and we got to play them at their own game. We've got to capture HR, and we've got to sack the liberals. We've got to capture the councils, and we've got to pass the laws against the liberals. We've got to capture the parliament and use the tactics that they're using against us.
Well, at the minute you can't, because the money is getting all the ticks.
You've got it. You've put your finger right on it, bro. Because the thing is, the reason why the liberals have such a commanding control over our society is because they have such a commanding control of our economy. And so what we need to do is we need to create an alternative economy amongst Christians that undermines the liberal grip of economy. And the way that we do that is through forming what's called Benedict communities.
I think I've heard you speak about
Yeah, that's when Christians gather into a village or a town or an area of a city and dominate that local area. And by dominating that local area, we begin to transform and to change it so that it becomes Christian in its economy. Right? So as Christians, as a Christian, I'm inviting you to enter into a battle, a cultural war against liberalism, against Islam, against fascism, against Nazism. The only side as Christians that we're on is the side of the church. And by church, I mean our brothers and sisters. And by liberals, I mean the Gary Linekers of this world. I mean the Rishi Sunaks of this world. The Sir Keir Starmers of this world. Everything that they stand for is essentially liberalism. If you want to know what liberalism is, you just look at those people, and that's what they stand for. That's liberalism.
She's got herself a little book, so she started reading up on it, because when I talk about it, she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. She's like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because some people, they close off.
Yeah.
They just follow what's going on. But now you've opened your eyes a little bit. You know, it's like the guy on Twitter, on X.
Go on.
Where he's got his Palestinian flag.
Yeah.
He's a gay guy. And I put straight on it straight away, but you're the guy that they don't like and they're going to throw off a building. Do you not understand? But he's happy just to be a part of the, this sort of woke culture.
The liberals don't understand. They don't see the threat of Islam, and they don't see the threat of Islam because their ideology doesn't permit them to see the threat of Islam.
And the middle class little boys trying to tell working class people like me what to do.
The white liberal classes will never fight against Islam because to do that will involve real sacrifice. And their ideology doesn't equip them for sacrifice. Their ideology only equips them for comfort and self-fulfillment. But the Christian faith equips the Christian for sacrifice. The Christian faith equips the Christian for struggle because it gives us a reason to struggle and it gives us a reward for struggle. And so the Christian is able to engage in the struggle that the liberals aren't. Liberal secularism will always lose against Islam. So the Rishi Sunaks, the Gary Linekers and the Sir Keir Starmers of this world, they're already beaten. But the Christians, we've reversed Islamification before. We've reversed it in the Caucasus, we reversed it in Eastern Europe, we reversed it in Spain and Portugal, we reversed it in Cyprus, southern Italy, we reversed it in Sicily, we reversed it, in Eastern Europe, if I didn't say that before. Like, we reversed it in the Philippines. Like, we are able and willing to reverse Islamization because our ideology allows us to reverse Islamization. We reversed it in Ethiopia. Right, so Christianity is the answer that the West needs, and we get that from the teachings of the prophets and the apostles, and you have it in that book. And I want to encourage you both to read it together, discuss it together, and when you come across a question, write it down, get in touch with me. We'll organise, get a couple of questions together, write them down, get in touch with me, and then I'll meet you on Zoom together, me and you two, and we'll talk, and we'll have a private Bible study where I talk through your questions.
I see you've got that I think it's an 8-week thing that we're looking on.
That's a morning session, but I run in but that's only for Christians. So when you're Christians, you can join that. Yeah. But right now, I'm offering you something better. Yeah. I'm offering you a 1-to-1, where it's just me and you, not me, you, and a group.
Just to understand it better.
So get in touch with me. Yeah, you're freezing your arse off, and I need the loo. So get in touch with me. Lovely to meet you. Yeah, nice. Well done. Yeah. Thanks for coming. God bless you both. Yeah. Get in touch with me as soon as you can, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. We the church will win. The church will win.